In 1900, about 1 out of every 4 residents of Baghdad was Jewish. Today, there are just 5 Jews living in the Iraqi capital. A new documentary, Shadow in Baghdad, tries to tell the story of one family, and specifically one man, who disappeared from the city. It's a rarely told story. Israel's success in the Six-Day War of 1967 was the turning point for many Jews living in Baghdad. Before the war, they lived in peace with their Iraqi neighbors. After the war, the government turned on them.
What we feel and what I think is, and we discussed, Linda and I were discussing this throughout the making of the film, is the idea that really Israelis and Iraqis, of course, and Jews are unfamiliar with much of this history, and there's a great degree of ignorance.
The film, Shadow in Baghdad, tells the story of one man through the eyes of his daughter. Linda Abdel Aziz Menuhin left Iraq at age 19 as the situation for Jews in Baghdad deteriorated. Her father, Jacob Abdel Aziz, remained until he disappeared on Yom Kippur, 1972.
The triumph of Israel was for us. It was a punishment for the Iraqi Jews who were left there. But my father really was first and foremost Iraqi. He felt that he was an Iraqi and then only a Jew. And he loved so much Iraq, and he loved so much his friends. That's why my feeling was that, you know, my father was betrayed at the end of the day when he disappeared.
The film tells of how Linda worked with a young Iraqi journalist to try to figure out what happened to her father and to all of their friends and relatives in their Baghdad neighborhood. At the end of the documentary, the key mystery is unresolved.
We don't know specifically what happened to him because there's no document. Maybe now we have document, but there's no official document to what happened to Linda's father. But as the story unfolds, we know more about the community, what happened to the community.
The filmmaker, also the son of Iraqi Jews, and his subject agree one central theme is about crossing borders in the Middle East and whether you can go back home again. Neither has returned to Baghdad. Filmmaker Dookie Dror believes the tiny Jewish community of today in Baghdad is just a shadow of its historic presence, a shadow in Baghdad. He's hoping to debut his finished documentary early next year at the Washington Jewish Film Festival. This is Priscilla Huff for JN1 in Washington.